Let me play Santa Claus tomorrow and give you $16,000. To do that, help me. Meet me at the movies.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch.
And I'm Nolan Johannes. Coming up next on Newswatch 16.
Tattoos for Christmas, the gift that lasts a lifetime. I'm Craig Stevens.
Plus, Tom Clark has flurries in the forecast.
And Joe Zone has another frustrated fan letter. Those stories and much more next. Stay tuned.
Penn State Highlights, a year in review Friday. In your car, listen to Newswatch 16 on WKRZ AM 1340.
Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Firemen say one thing that causes quite a few fires this time of year is carelessness with space heaters. One of the most popular types of heaters is the kind that uses kerosene. Newswatch 16's Dorothy Lucey talked with some experts today on how to heat with kerosene safely.
When the temperatures plummet, sales of kerosene soar. That's because some of us are trying to cut down our home heating bills. So we bring a container like this one to a gas station like this Agway in DuPont, and we fill the container up with kerosene. The fuel is for kerosene or space heaters, but some of the Scranton fire inspectors don't think that is such a good idea.
Yeah, we had a couple instances last year, and again, it's probably more customer failure. They buy these units, take them home, and misuse them and abuse them. We have people that attempted to burn gasoline in a kerosene heater. We have people that hook them up unsafe, put them too close to combustibles, and whatever mistakes that can be made with space heaters or kerosene heaters, they make them.
If you make a mistake, what's going to happen?
You're going to have a fire.
But Brian Wolf, a Scranton mechanic, sells kerosene, and he has a heater.
I have one, and take care of them and clean them, and everything just works fine.
To keep the heater working well, follow these tips. Never leave the heater on while you sleep. Be careful a child or an animal can't knock it over or drop something into the heater. And always use only the fuel the heater requires. The Scranton fire inspectors say most heaters come with safety features, so just follow the directions and be careful. Dorothy Lucey, Newswatch 16.
Good news tonight from the Greyhound bus line. The buses will be rolling tonight at midnight. Now here's the scene at the Wilkes-Barre terminal on South Pennsylvania Avenue. People are buying tickets and getting ready for the first bus, which is due into the Wyoming Valley at 3 this morning. And while the approval of a new contract is happy news for riders, most drivers are not happy because their new contract calls for a pay cut of nearly 8%. Some Greyhound workers say they okayed the contract because they needed to get back to work. There are some other people who are not happy tonight. Farmers who lost money when Scheps Cheese in Wyoming County went bankrupt. Today, the Wayne County Assistant DA says he'll start extradition procedures this week against the owner, Benedict Scheps. He did not appear for a hearing yesterday on charges of theft by deception and deceptive business practices. Scheps Cheese is under investigation tonight by state and local officials over the company's financial dealings. Nolan?
Karen, the financial situation in retail stores has company clerks and managers elated these days. The Christmas buying binge has boosted some local stores way up over last year's at this time. Boscovs is 13% higher. JCPenney mall outlets say their sales are up over 20%. Both retailers and producers of goods have been caught by surprise.
Positive trend for Christmas began. There wasn't goods available. Example, of course, is Cabbage Patch Doll, Care Bears, and some of the things that consumer knows, but for the most part, it goes on even further in some other lines of merchandise that just aren't available this year.
Retailers Newswatch 16 talked to say the cautious attitude by manufacturers may continue unless the buying binge by shoppers continues after Christmas. Newswatch 16 continues with the Christmas spirit and a special Christmas wish.
Enjoy a winter wonderland!
It's amazing how a Cabbage Patch Doll can light up a little girl's eyes. Tanya isn't the only one to receive one of those prized possessions today. 4-year-old Carrie Werkheiser of Edwardsville is now the proud owner of a Cabbage Patch Kid. The Big Brothers Big Sisters program gave Carrie the doll today because her mom is a hard-working volunteer for that program. The doll came courtesy of Mike Dreyer of Wilkes-Barre, who won the little cutie in a radio station contest we told you about a few weeks ago. Dreyer donated the doll to Big Brothers Big Sisters because he wanted to brighten up the Christmas season for a special child. Some people from Bell Telephone helped some other Bell workers today. Phone company employees sang Christmas carols in downtown Wilkes-Barre to help the Salvation Army raise money for needy people. Even jolly old St. Nick joined in on the fun. About 25 Bell Telephone workers, complete with Santa's hats, joined in the holiday project. And our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark, will be next with his jolly forecast.
I don't know about jolly. It's been so cold, Tom. Are we going to get any relief?
Not really, Karen. But you're about to see me shiver once again in the backyard as I head out. But a storm is on the way, folks, and I'll tell you all about it from out in all that cold air.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the TV station, Chad, Jane, and Miss Judy were preparing a big celebration. It will be a memorable Christmas, they said, beginning at 7, with a PM magazine special that'll take you to heaven. Then at 7:30, Miss Judy will be your host for a Hatchy Malachi Christmas special that'll give you the most holiday cheer that will fill you with glee all Christmas night on WNEP.
It looks as though Pennsylvania Gas and Water will have a fight on its hands when it tries to get a rate hike of almost $15 million. The state consumer advocate David Barish says he'll oppose the hike plan for natural gas customers. Hearings are planned for next year in the hike that could be as much as 15% for customers of PG&W.
A lot of sunshine out there, even though it was cold today. And you know, it felt good on the south side of the house today, Tom.
Yeah, inside, you mean. Inside on the south side. It doesn't feel too good outside now, though, unfortunately. Temperatures down in the teens everywhere, and it's going to get just as cold tonight, if not colder, than last night. I had the pleasure of being in southern Luzerne County this afternoon at the Freeland Elementary School, and they all made posters for me, the 5th graders did, and I just want to show you a couple of them now for you. There are the 4 seasons right there, and hey, look, that's me in the backyard here at 16. They got the spruce tree there and everything, and that guy there likes to watch the weather. There they are, sitting in the living room there. Look at that, good artistry from the school students up there at Freeland. And there's the guy who heard me say it was going to be nice and sunny today. Maybe once or twice a year that would happen. Okay, let's go to the holiday house and take a look and see what it looks like down there in Schuylkill County. And they have lights all over the house, even Santa Claus and a snowman on the front porch. It belongs to the John Gemmel family at 204 Arlene Street in Minersville. And good to see some homes down that way. Looks real nice. Temperature now, look at that. Oh, it's cold outside. Humidity 37%, the wind north at 6. The oil barometer is way high, 30.63 inches, and it's still rising. The high today in this backyard was 17 degrees, and the low last night was 7, well below the normal low for the state of 22. It did not break a record, which was 10 below, set back in 1942. We go up to 22,000 miles in space now and take a look at the Newswatch 16 color satellite picture, and it shows lots of sunshine over the northeastern counties of Pennsylvania and in the central counties. I thought we'd see some cloudiness today, but a strong Canadian high to the north prevented any clouds from building over our area today. It was simply gorgeous, if not painfully cold. But I'm watching a storm system now develop in the nation's midsection. You can see a lot of clouds out that way. Some snow now falling over the Dakotas and down in the Missouri. And this storm is heading up towards the Great Lakes, and at the same time, some air is going to come in off the ocean and overrun the cold air we have now to be forced to rise over that, and that's going to cause some snow to break out here, looks like late tomorrow, and then as this mild air makes its way in, a change over to sleet and freezing rain and rain tomorrow night. So get set, kind of like a slop storm on the way for, well, tomorrow night into Thursday. 81 degrees in Miami, Florida this afternoon, and that's the place to be. Here's our forecast for tonight. Cold moonshine overhead. Frigid 5 in Mashopin, 6 in Exeter, just below 0 up there in Freeland. That is a high place, high on the mountains up there. 10 in Schuylkill Haven and about 9 in Lewisburg tonight. Tomorrow, the clouds build up through the morning and midday hours. Snow should begin sometime around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, between about 3 and 5 p.m. So get set. 22 Carbondale, about 20 in Blakesley, 21 the high in Shenandoah, 24 in Montoursville. We'll pick up a southeast wind late in the day tomorrow. Well, your resistance to aches and pains will be getting low during the day because the barometer is going to begin falling rapidly late in the day. Clear skies tonight, the snow beginning late tomorrow, 25 for the high, changing over to sleet and some freezing rain later tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Some roads could become quite icy by daybreak on Thursday. I can see a couple inches of snow from this storm coming in, but nothing too deep, okay? 37 for the high on Thursday. Much colder air coming in Friday and Saturday. Only in the teens on Christmas Eve day. A white Christmas is somewhat out of the question at this point. I don't think it's going to be white. I don't know. But it's going to be cold.
It'll be a blue Christmas. We'll be shivering through it.
Yeah.
They're making snow at the ski resorts, too, by the way.
Yeah, that's good.
Skiing is excellent.
Right. Who wants to be in Miami, right, when you can ski down the slope? Joe Zone is next with the sports.
Tonight, the story of a local bowler getting back on the professional tour.
Magic dolls, dancing snowflakes, visions of sugar plums. The Wilkes-Barre Ballet Theater Company presents The Nutcracker. Come to the celebration with Drosselmeyer, Clara, and the Sugar Plum Fairy at the Wilkes College Center for the Performing Arts, December 26th through the 30th. For ticket information, call 824-8602. Continue a family tradition. Celebrate the holiday season at the Nutcracker.
A local man who has made good keeps going. Right, Joe?
Walt Michaels of the famous Michaels NFL Brothers right here in Swarrysville. He's back at it. Walt Michaels unretired himself today. It was just a year ago, you remember. Michaels left the New York Jets after leading them to within a game of the Super Bowl. Walt said he retired. A lot of us thought he was fired. One thing is certain today, he was rehired. The New Jersey Generals of the USFL made Michaels their new man. He's got a 3-year deal, which is a long time for a guy who says he quit last time because he was tired.
Well, I think some doctors, some psychologists, and a lot of people overuse the term. I think a lot of us get tired, and I think some people who've never coached and been involved sometimes overestimate some of the things we have to do. There are a lot of long hours. Long hours doesn't necessarily mean that you burn out. Long hours also can mean you're tired. I grew up in an area where there are a lot of manual physical labor being done. Those people were tired, not burned out.
Michaels says he's going to get the job done right now. They want to win right away down there. Over in the NFL, Washington's Joe Gibbs named Coach of the Year again. That is the AP poll. It's the second straight year for Gibbs, whose Redskins are 14-2. The guy I thought should have won it, Pittsburgh's Chuck Noll, finished second. John Robinson of the LA Rams was third. Talking about the Redskins, our frustrated fan wants to know if I've changed my opinion at all about his team. He writes, last season you did not think very much of the Washington Redskins and even went as far after they were declared world champs to say that you did not consider them true champions. Why? Who knows? Only you have your reasons. I was wondering if you still consider them freaks and that they don't belong up there. I could never understand how you could be a sports announcer and know so little about the game. Sincerely, Donald Wilt of Muncie. I have gained a certain respect for the Redskins this year, but I still do not consider them the best team in the NFL. Talk to me again after the NFC title game. By the way, as far as being a sports announcer without knowing anything at all about sports, well, none of the higher-ups here at the station knows anything about sports either. I just got them all fooled. In about a month or so, the Pro Bowlers Tour returns to Saturday afternoons right here on 16. Those of you who follow the sport regularly know it is a tough way to make a living. Scranton's Joe Hutchinson knows all about it. Tim Carlson talked with Hutchinson as he gets ready to return to the Pro Bowlers Tour again.
If someone told me 20 years ago when I started to bowl in this very center that someday I would get sick and tired of bowling, I'd have to kick him in the teeth.
Scranton's Joe Hutchinson is heading into his 8th year on the Pro Bowlers Tour. The city-to-city grind, living out of suitcases, eating at restaurants, facing the pressure of having to win to make a living, and trying not to get tired of the sport.
What keeps you going back? It's a lot of work. It's just the love for the game. I could have quit I could have quit a million times already. I've said that. I've been sitting on the bench many times on the tour and just say to myself, yeah, let's just pack them up and go home. You have no business here. And then the next frame I come up and I say, well, no, I'm supposed to be here.
The last 2 years have been rough on Joe. He says a lack of enthusiasm hurt his game. Now the job of regaining the form that brought him as much as $60,000 in a year.
I'm going to try to space my schedule. I don't want to get to the point where I'm bowling 5 or 6 or 7 tournaments in a row, because that's when it gets tough to maintain that edge.
So as a pro athlete, it's not only a physical but also a mental game Hutch plays, knowing what has to be done to win.
The object in this game here is to maintain a level, be it good, when it's good, realize that that's how good I am. And when it's bad, just realize that I'm good enough to come out of it. There's no enthusiasm lacking right now in regards to getting back out on the tour. It's when I get there, can I maintain it against that level of competition.
So the preparation continues for a new Pro Bowlers Tour this year for Joe Hutchinson, and if they can fall anything like that, it'll be a good one. Tim Carlson, Newswatch 16 Sports in Scranton.
And starting next week, Hutchinson will be sharing all of those years of experience with us. We'll be presenting weekly bowling tips right here on Channel 16. I don't know, sounds like a good idea for a series. 279 in mind. New college basketball poll is out. Not many changes. North Carolina's #1. Kentucky, Houston, DePaul, Georgetown, Boston College, Purdue, Maryland, UCLA, and Louisville. That's all of it tonight. Basketball, University of Scranton is playing.
Okay.
I've never seen you bowl, but I don't think you could hit 279.
How about it? Should we challenge him?
I haven't yet.
There's one game at least we might be able to hold our own at with Joe Zone. Thank you, Joe.
Not me.
Next Insight on Newswatch 16, Craig Stevens finds the gift for a person who has it all.
It's a gift that will get under your skin. We'll explain in a moment.
Midnight Mass live from St. Gregory's Church, Christmas Eve.
Well, you may be facing that Christmas deadline tonight, wondering just what to get for that special friend. Newswatch 16's Craig Stevens found an answer, and it comes from an ancient art form.
What was the best Christmas present you ever got? Toys, candy, a clock, radio, gloves, tattoo, jewelry, cologne? Wait a minute. Who ever heard of a tattoo for Christmas?
Well, they give everything else for Christmas, Tattoo is a great personal gift.
Janet Ray Mealand is a tattooist in Muncie who used to be a surgical technician. She now tattoos people as a part-time business in her home. This year, she's advertising tattoos as the gift that lasts a lifetime.
Well, they do last forever. When you can get divorced if your marriage isn't pleasing, but you're going to live with this for a long, long time. It's very difficult to remove it, if not impossible.
21-year-old Donald Smith in Montgomery is getting this tattoo for Christmas from his buddy. He thinks it's the perfect gift.
I have this one for a long time. The ones I usually get, I don't have very long.
There's more to this than meets the eye. Some of the money Janet Ray makes from Christmas tattoos goes to buy presents for folks in a local nursing home.
Well, you're making a statement, a personal statement. Sometimes to the world, sometimes to just maybe your mate. But you are making a personal statement.
For those of you who might be just a bit apprehensive about getting a permanent tattoo, you can always get a temporary one like this one for the holiday season, or just to see what your real tattoo will look like. Craig Stevens, Newswatch 16, Muncie.
And that is Newswatch 16 for this Tuesday.
Be sure to join us tonight at 11 on The Update when we'll tell you what President Reagan had to say at his news conference tonight.
Plus, Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds will show us how a Scranton businessman is bringing a bit of sunshine to some needy families at Christmas.
For the team, thanks for being with us.
Enjoy your evening.